Okay. Well, welcome to your practice. It's an honor to guide your practice and an honor to honor your practice. And to keep getting on the mat, like sometimes it's not so easy, especially when you're at home. So you're here. I deeply honor your practice. And so let's welcome ourselves and just let your hands rest in any way. Palms up, palms down, one up, one down. Up is energizing, down is grounding. You can also place your hands on your body if you like. And then just lengthen yourself tall as you inhale. And as you exhale, close your eyes, bow your chin, settle into your seat. Drop your inner gaze deep down. Tune into your breath. And maybe even adding a little bit of lengthening as you inhale and a little bit of softening as you exhale. Sometimes think of this as like your inner jellyfish. It's moving with your breath. Tune into the movement of your shoulders, your rib cage. And in this space of honoring and of devotion, join your palms together in front of your heart and bow your chin once again. And just to take a little bit of honoring and blessing to being on your mat and just being with what is. We'll open this practice and chant Om 3 times. So before you do that, inhale and lengthen yourself tall. Exhale as you are. On your next inhale, lift your chin up to the sky and keep your eyes closed. Just lift your chin, inhale. And as you exhale, bring your chin back to neutral. Good. Stay here, inhale nice and full. Exhale through your mouth. And we'll begin. Inhale. Bowing your chin, release your hands to your thighs and lift your chin, open your eyes. Okay, we're gonna stay sitting. So we'll stretch the legs out, move your feet, move your wrists. And if you need to sit on something, bring that in. I'll just take my own advice and just sit or perch on the bolster. And then we'll change the cross of the legs. So whatever your habitual is, change it. And, cut the feet in, throw blankets in, whatever you need. What I do here is I sometimes tend to open the knees a little wider and get the heels to line up. It's just another way to sit. So whatever works. I'm just going to take the hands to the knees and we're just going to start seated cat-cow. So we'll inhale and you might even lift your chin. You can feel the cow. And exhale, tuck your chin, take your heart space back. Just do that a few times. You can have your eyes closed or open. It's feeling anything here that might be talking to you. Good. And we'll just do one more cat and cow. And then we're going to turn it into this circling action. So from the cat portion where your chin is tucked, slide the ribs to one side, roll your chest and over and back, and you can close your eyes, feel into your own space. If sitting on something feels like it's a hindrance, just pop it out. Good. You don't have to go very fast, and we'll add the hands a little bit here. So as you're rolling, you're just going to start to roll your wrists. And so they're just getting a little bit of something, whatever it is, you know, if this a little bit too much coordination. And just smile and keep going. Good. Okay, and let's just swirl the opposite way a few times. And good. And just feeling everything. Nice. Okay, and then we'll just come back to, actually, let's go from side to side, and we'll just kind of slow it down. You can bring your hands back to rest, and just moving yourself side to side, and then coming to rest in center. And I know we have opposite cross of the legs. If you need to change, go ahead. Otherwise, drop your chin, drop your jaw. Good. And we'll reach the arms up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale, take the right arm down. Let's do a little side stretch. So we'll reach up and crescent ourselves over. Yes. And then we'll just come up like, you know, bring both arms up and just sway over to the second side. Good. And coming back to the first side, and just adding in a little bit more dynamic effort, like really reaching the arm and then pressing the ribs over so they're more up to the sky. And then float over to the second side. We'll just do that same thing. Just add a little bit more dynamic, like reach more, shift your ribs more. Good. Come up, both arms lift. Just take 3 breaths here. Just let the arms move up and down. Stretch your fingers, open your hands. Yes. And as we finish, we're going to reach up nice and tall. And as you exhale, bring your arms down in front of you. And we're going to come into a forward fold. Just walk your hands forward. So I'm still in this opposite cross of my legs. If that's not good, I hope you switched. See if you can let your head go, your jaw go. And move your shoulders away from your ears. Good. Okay, take 3 breaths here, just softening. Good. Okay, I'm going to come back up onto the hands. Now from here, I'm going to move on to hands and knees. So you'll just lift your little tush up, bring your legs back, move your props or put a blanket down, if you need it. And bring yourself to your hands and your knees, tuck your toes under. I'm going to make this a little longer. And we'll just move through cat-cow again, just moving your chin, your tail, and feeling your breath. I have my toes tucked under, yogi's choice. And we'll start to take this into circular action. So let's go from cat, just like we did. So the chin to the chest. Really anchor your hands. Now take the ribs to one side, drop them down over to the other side. Close your eyes and start to move into your own little dance here, whatever that is. Feel your body. Good. Reverse your circling. Good. Okay, we're going to move front to back. So, it's not quite child's pose, not quite cobra. You're just moving yourself front to back, breathing, go wherever feels comfortable. Good. Okay, we're going to come into child's pose. So let the tops of the feet come down. You can open your knees wide. Now, if you have your bolster or something, you want to bring that in, bring it in. It'll just go right between the knees. You can lie over it, but if you want to just come down, that is fine too. And just breathing into your body, noticing, how your hip crease feels, your feet, your ankles. A lot of joint action. You think of like the hips are folding, the knees are folding, the feet stretching. Now, I have my arms stretched out in front. If you can do that comfortably, stretch your arms. And then we kind of expand the breath more in the lungs and the rib cage. Take one more full breath. Okay, and then walk your hands back and come to sit on the tops of your feet. You can bring the knees together. This is comfortable. I'm going to pause for a breath or two here. Just drop your gaze down the bridge of your nose. Okay, so I'm going to move into a supported sphinx. So I might, if you have a bolster, I'm just going to show you the setup, and you don't even need to use props. I'll show you with and without. So I take the props and I'll take my blankets. You might stack them a little bit so that you have, actually, let me turn this one. I'm going to make like a little, some stairs almost. So I have a little bit of space between this top blanket. You might not need all this. So I'll just show this here. I'm going to just take my chest as if I'm doing Sphinx. This is Sphinx, but I can be supported. I can open the legs wide, kind of drop in, and then you can adjust your props. So you're here, and if you don't have any props, that's fine. You just come into Sphinx. The forearms down, and the shoulders are over top of the elbows, or the elbows are forward of the shoulders. So you kind of play, see what feels good. Again, I'm going to say I have my legs nice and wide. And I'm just going to breathe here, melt. You might even lift your, so you can look straight ahead. If you pull the chin in, you get a little bit more action in the upper back. Okay, so I brought in that. I'm going to try and let the low back be, I'm going to use the word open. So that means is you bring in a little bit of cat into this cow shape. If you think of how you are, your chest lifted, belly dropping, and you bring the belly in a little bit so you feel maybe the low back lengthen, even, I want to say like a centimeter, whatever you feel. Good. Okay, we're going to drop the head. So I'll take the shoulders away from the ears, release my head. It might rest on the bolster. You can always throw a blanket underneath your forehead or just let your head hang. And then you're here, so feel there's this cat, cow, mash up. And when we do cat pose, with the belly coming back, chin dropping, but here we have the chest lifted, chin dropping. And tuck your toes under. And just stay as you are. Take a few nice breaths. Okay. Notice if the shoulders are kind of coming up to your ears, move them back. Now feel into your, let's say the right foot, right leg. Just be aware of it. Toes are tucked under. Now press the heel back, just on the right leg. And it might, might even lift up off the floor. It might not. Just press back. Take one more breath. And then release that. So just come back. You can wiggle your tush a little bit. And then we'll do the same with the left. So first just bring your attention to your left foot, left leg, and then start to press the left heel back. And then release that leg. Put the tops of the feet on the floor. Good. Okay. So I'm going to take the hands back a little bit and just lift myself up a little bit. So you know, I might still be resting on the bolster. I might come off the bolster, whatever works for you. Breathe. And then drop your head. Take the shoulders away from the ears. So if this feels like it's too much, lower down. Let the jaw go. Maybe you can push the heels of the hands down. Yeah. And then release. And now I'm just gonna actually like just lie down on this. And if you don't have a bolster here, then you're just lying on the floor. Turn your head to one side. And pick your head up, turn it the other way. Again, just drop in a few breaths. Okay. Press your hands into the bolster, the floor, lift your head, come back to your Sphinx. Good. Okay, I'm just gonna rock my hips side to side. So my toes are tucked under to make that happen. Good. Okay, and then settle yourself in. You can move your bolster away, readjust yourself, find your supported Sphinx, and then see if you can bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet together. So the knees might go a little wider. You might even have the soles of the feet right together, but if this is too much for your back, my friends, you don't have to lift your legs. The work is happening. So if you don't need to lift your legs, if it's too much for your back, then just let them come down. Okay, breathe. I'm going to take my gaze to the horizon, pull the chin in, draw the belly in a little bit. Breathe. Good. Release your legs. So they're still wide out. Tuck the toes under. Good. Okay, walk your toes in. I know you can't see my legs. It's like as if the toes could move forward. Just walk them in and then press the heels back. And you're gonna do both at the same time now. So the legs might be very different. You lift I'm gonna anchor the elbows down, my chest will lift a little bit. Take the eyes to the horizon, pull the chin in. A lot happening in the back. Take a breath. Release your feet, and now we're gonna go up and back child's pose. So however you wanna do that, I'm gonna bend my knees, bring the feet together, hands come back, press up, roll over your knees, and now you have your bolster. If you wanna use it, pull it in. If you're using the bolster, I like to bring the blanket to the edge of the bolster here so that it'll rest on my tummy, and you might stack a few, you might lift your bolster, and you might not even use it. So just move yourself into child's pose however you like. I'm going to stretch my arms out so you can have them wrapped. Okay, so you're here in child's pose, supported or not. Can you find a little bit of cat-cow action through the tailbone? Like you drop the tail, you feel the belly come in, and you can lift the tail, maybe you feel the belly drop. For me, it's like a micro movement. So whether you feel anything or not, just bringing in that attention of drawing the tailbone down to the floor and lifting the tailbone up in your own capacity. Good. And then drop in, let your head turn to one side. If you want to fold your arms in, go ahead. Breathe. And then just lift your head, turn it the opposite way. And then we're coming back up to sit in Vajrasana. So that's thunderbolt pose, tops of the feet on the floor. If this is comfortable and works, I'm going to set the props aside. Take a breath or two here. And let's add the wrists. So we'll take the hands down. You can pop up onto your knees, tuck your toes under. You can start to bend your elbows back or shift your hips back. Just find a stretch. You know, I'm going to really spread my fingers, anchor the pads of the fingers down. Find a stretch for the wrists here. Okay, I'm going to add some shoulder flossing. You know how we reach the arms up high and we press them to the sky and back? So I'm just adding some shoulder flossing. If this doesn't work, you know, turn your hands out. So you just push the hands down, the chest lifts, come back. I know there's a lot happening here. So you're just going to smile. Your toes are feeling, whatever your wrists are feeling. Good. Okay, now I'm going to move into cat pose. I'm going to draw the belly back, drop the head. Good. Okay, now I'm going to lift the palms so I have the finger stretch happening. I'm still in this cat shape. And then just stretching my fingers. I can move the shoulders away from my ears a little bit. Smile. I'm going to come up to sit on the toes. If you've had enough on your toes, release. Just shake your wrists out a few times and try and get them above the heart. So like maybe you shake here or you shake up high. Good. All right. So we're going to come into forward fold. So you can grab your blocks if you like and just, you know, I'll bring blocks in. Just put them down and then lift yourself up and back. And you know, we don't need to go hands right by the feet. They can go forward and drop yourself in. I love to, as you all know, stretch the arms here in this forward fold. So the heels are on the floor. My knees are a little bent. Take my hips back. Stretch my arms. Ears are in line with the arms. Okay, so if your legs happen to be perfectly straight, bend them. Look at your feet. Place them like you like. And then just straightening one knee, but really what I want to do is press that hip back. So I can say straighten the knee, that's going to happen. And I might even peek underneath that arm. Take one more breath, smile like you love it. And then switch. So you'll bend the knees again and straighten the other leg, but really draw the hip back. Peek underneath the arm. Good. And then come on back. Good. So walk your hands forward if you haven't. And we're just going to shift front to back. Like, you know, take the shoulders over the wrists and then come on back. Legs straight or bent. As you come forward, look to the horizon. And as you come back, tuck your chin. So we bring a bit of cat-cow in here. Okay, I'm going to refine the forward. So the next time you come forward, stay here. Anchor your hands into the blocks or the floor. Take the shoulders away from the ears. Draw your belly in a little bit. Take the gaze to the horizon. Smile. Now I'm going to really anchor the heels of the hands down. Like I'm pushing down. Good. And then release back. Good. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to leave my blocks where they are. We're going to come all the way up. So I'll take the hands down, open them out to the side, sit down more in my legs, come up, touch the palms over your head. Exhale, hands in front of your heart, and then drop your arms all the way down. And if you are experiencing a little dizziness, nice breathing. Yes. You know, I had someone say to me recently, they can't do yoga because they can't get up and down. And I know there's like certain things, I'm just stepping back so you can see my head. There's certain things that prevent us from getting up and down, but even that dizziness sometimes, you know, I get that too. But it's just good practice. We want our bodies to be able to do that. Okay. So here you are standing. We're going to come into tree pose. So rock a little bit front to back on your feet. If you want to hold the wall or you need something, adjust yourself. And then I'm going to start with the hands on the hips. Look at my right foot. See if I can spread the toes. Anchor and then shift the weight. Lift your left heel, turn the leg out. Now really push into the right leg. So the hip gets longer and then start to move into your version. Wherever it is, you smile. Good, and anchor, and then you can move your hands. I just took them out for balance. You can bring them into your heart. You can reach up. You can reach out. Just smile, even if your tree is very wobbly today or falling down. Good. Okay, take one more breath. Good. Okay, I'm going to start just by releasing the arms because that always takes the balance off. Bring the hands together. When we step off like I don't care, take the leg, maybe swing it front to back a few times. Good. And then we'll set her down. Good. Pause. Feel. Okay, second side. So start by looking at your left foot, spread the toes, anchor. Now I just lift the right heel, turn it out, and I'm going to really anchor into that left leg. I'm pushing down into the foot, lifting, and then I'll move into tree, wherever it goes. Okay, find your place, your space, your tree. Grow your tree with your arms. Stretch your little leaf fingers and become the tree. Breathe into your roots, into your branches, into your trunk. Firm whatever you can. Take one more breath. Good. And then I'll release the arms first. Hands at the heart. And then step down like you don't even care. You don't need it. But we do. Good. And then we'll take it down. Good. Okay, drop your arms. Take a breath. Good. Okay, we're going to come into dancer pose. I'm just turning because I have a wall here. So if you happen to have a wall, you don't need it. But if you happen to have a wall, this pose. I'm just going to do it super quick. So you can always hold the wall, right? But we're going to do it in stages. We're going to start just by holding the back leg. So again, you can use the wall. I'm going to put both hands on the hips. Look at my feet. Shift the weight over to the right foot. Now you're just going to bend the left leg and you're just going to catch the top of the foot. Then you squeeze the knees together. Press the left knee towards the earth. Flex your left foot. It's going to start to take the shoulder more open. Lift your belly. Now maybe you take your hand over to the big toe edge. Okay, turn your left hip forward a little bit. And then release. Just come to rest. Feel. Okay, we'll do the second side. I'm just going to turn around. You don't have to. So hands to your hips. Feel your feet. Now plant the left foot, shift over. Bend the right leg, catch hold of the foot. When you squeeze the knees together, drop the knee to the floor. Push the foot into the hand, flex the foot. Lift your little belly. Maybe you move the foot over to the big toe edge. And we smile, we breathe. Good. And then release. Pause. Okay, let's take forward fold just as an interim. So once you come down, just reach your arms all the way up. As you exhale, sit down in your legs, stick your butt out, hands to the floor or to your blocks. And just let yourself hang here. If you want to rock front to back, that's totally fine. Or just be, let the jaw go, the belly go. I have my knees bent so I can really release. Okay, and we're going to come all the way up. So sit down on my legs, open the arms out to the side, rise up, touch your palms over your head, and exhale, hands to the heart, and then all the way down. Dizziness, normal. Breathe. It's going to go away. Okay, so here we're going right for dancer. So I'll take the hands to the hips. Look at your feet. If you're going to use the wall, you're about maybe like a leg length away. Okay, I'm going to feel my right foot, nice and grounded, shift the weight, bend the left leg, catch the foot, squeeze the knees, press the knee to the floor, lift your heart, lift your belly, Move the hand over to the big toe edge if that's happening for you. Good. I have my thumb with my hand here. Now push the foot in, start to move into your dancer. And so I take the leg back. I don't really fold forward until I get that thigh up. Then I might take the right arm forward, reach, breathe, and release. Now, feel. Close your eyes even, drop your gaze. So much opening there. Good. Okay, second side. So I'm just going to turn around. You stay as you are. Hands to your hips. Look at your feet. Shift the weight onto the left foot and really anchor. Take your right arm out. Bend the right leg, catch it. Maybe it's baby toe, big toe. Press the knee down, lift the belly. And then start to take the foot back, even a little bit. Then the left arm can come forward. Breathe. Squeeze the knees. And release. And then just stand, feel. Good. Okay, we're going to come back to forward fold. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, stick the butt back, hands to the blocks or to the floor. And maybe you come back to what we did at the very beginning, where we had the knees bent and we just straighten one leg, move the hip back, do the same with the other one. Good. And drop in. Wherever you have your hands, take 2 more breaths. Good. Okay, so hands to blocks. And you could do this at the wall too, but from here, I'm just going to step my right foot forward and the left foot back a little bit. And we're coming into pyramid pose, and that's the legs are straight. So hands on block, pardon me, will be very handy. And or hands on the wall could be very good too. So whatever you have, work with what you have. Okay, take a look at your back foot. It could be turned out a little bit. You really want to feel you can pull the right hip back. Now I'm going to just press my hands into the blocks as we've been doing. I'll lift my gaze to the horizon. Then draw my belly in, and then press the thighs back. Pull the left hip forward, right hip back. Now we're going to take revolve triangle. So the I said right foot forward. So left hand stays where it is. Take the right hand maybe to your right hip. You can even push the hip back, start to turn towards the right. Really anchor left hand into block. Reach the right arm up. Okay, hopefully you're feeling this in the back of your calf. You can even anchor the left heel to the floor just to get a little bit more. And release. Hand down, step back, find your leg halfway. Whatever that is, Even do a little hip walking. I'll just share, even as I do this, my hands are on the blocks, but the end of the blocks are lifting up just to accommodate. It's all fine. Good. Okay, second side. The left foot will step forward. Right foot can step back to a place where you can have both feet down. Yeah. And you anchor the hands. You're pressing into the wall. It's great. That's great. Now pull the left hip back. Look at your right foot. It's going to be turning out just slightly. Okay, draw your belly in, anchor, and then press the thighs back. Good. Okay, revolve triangle. So the right hand stays. Left hand can come to your hip. You can pull the hip back, and you start to turn. And as I turn, I'm pushing into the right hand, so I get this nice opening, and then reach the arm. Anchor the right heel. Say this, if you don't feel anything in your back calf, just turn the right heel out a little bit and then really anchor down, push the heel towards the floor and release. Then we're gonna come all the way down for child's pose. So I'll put my knees down. I'm gonna use the blocks. So I'm gonna put the blocks on baby bear. Heels of the hands on the blocks. Then I take my hips down. Now I've got this nice space. My head can maybe drop. I'm gonna breathe into the sides of the lungs. And take one more full breath. Great. Okay, so from here, I'm going to step the right foot forward, but I'm going to stay on knees. So come up onto your knees, tuck the toes under, step your right foot forward. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to put the blocks on their highest height, lift myself up, and we'll just do a little bit of this front to back just to kind of, wake everything up, bring it back. And the nice thing about, you can do this without blocks, but with the blocks, we get this nice lift and just find the cat-cow. There is cat-cow here. Feel your breath. Good, and then we'll come to lunge. And I'm just gonna I'll take my left hand, take the block. Just gonna set the block back here somewhere. It might go in line with my foot. And then I'm gonna reach the right arm up and I'll start to come forward a little bit here. It's gonna give, set you off balance maybe, but that's okay, work with everything. Good, and then release, take the block back. Good, okay, I'm gonna take a downward dog here. I'm gonna use the blocks, I'll put them on baby bear. You're welcome to go back to child's pose or downward facing dog. You don't have to use the blocks, whatever feels good. You'll rock your hips, breathe. If you're in downward dog, I'm really anchoring the heels of the hands down and away. Let the shoulders come up to the ears a little bit. Press your thighs back. Good. Okay, and then we're gonna do second side. So knees down, left foot forward. Put your blocks up higher. Tuck the back toes under and then just move front to back. This nice, kind, feeling your cat, your cow, wherever you go here. You're doing the work, opening the hips. And nice. Okay. So we come into this lunge kind of place. Toes are tucked under. Take the right hand with the block. Bring it back wherever it's going to go for you. Put it there. Put the hand down. Okay, and then we'll lift the left arm. And I'll crescent the hips forward if there's space. Reach. Breathe. Good. And then release. Take the hands forward. Good. And then it's either downward dog or child's pose. Maybe blocks on the baby bear height. And breathe. Good. Okay. Come down. I'm going to sit on the toes. I'm going to take the blocks with me. Bring the blocks back. So we're going to come into a version of camel. You could be on the tops of your feet. I know that this can sometimes bring some very unpleasantness. So I'm just going to take the hands back and you're just going to find whatever works for you. So I lean back. I'm going to take the shoulders back. Start to lift your chest. Take your hips off your feet. Move into this. You even have the chin in. And then tops of the feet down, hips down. Take your hands forward. Breathe. Ooh, feel your heart beating. Hopefully, so nice. Okay, I'm gonna come back into that camel and I'm gonna lift one arm up at a time. So whatever works, I'm gonna keep using the blocks. Take the shoulders back. Lift your chest. Come up. And then you feel your right hand on the block. Take your left arm, reach up. I'm getting this wrist stretch here on my left side. So if you need to turn the hand, do it. Good. Come down and just switch. Nice and slow. Right hand, left arm lifts, hip flip, open. Good. Release. Oh, nice. Set your blocks aside. Good. We're going to come into child's pose. I'm going to open my knees. This time I'm going to open my knees so wide. You might take your bolster in if you like, or just come on down. I'm going to walk my hands out. Okay, cat-cow here. You know, you can move. You push the hands away. There's your cat. You lift your chest. There's your cow. I'll do that a few times. I'm going to melt in. Whatever works for you, my friends. You make it your own. So I have my knees very wide. My feet aren't touching because the knees are so wide. So if that works for you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. Breathe. You can rest your forehead. And take one more breath. Okay, so from here, I'm going to slide forward into Sphinx. So I feel the hands, I lift the chin, I'm going to roll on my forearms. So I just come up on my forearms, come down, walk your legs, and bring yourself into Sphinx. However you did that, I honor it. And you do your own little dance. Okay, spread your fingers, stretch your feet so my toes are reaching back. I'm going to take my little shoulders away from my ears, anchor down, draw the belly in, take the gaze to the horizon. Maybe pull the chin in. Good. One more breath. And then you might even lift your arms straight here. So I'm just pushing the hands down and away. The legs can be open. Breathe. I'm really anchoring my hands like they're pushing the floor away. Good. Okay, come all the way down. Turn your head one way. Take a few breaths. Feel the quality of your breath. And then just lift your head, turn in the opposite direction. Drop in again. Okay. Good. And then just bring your head to your center. You know, I have my head lifted. I can rock my shoulders a little bit. That might feel nice. And we're going to move into dancer on your tummy. So if you need a strap, that's this one. So we're going to go here. If you need a strap, go ahead. If you need, you know, you can even put a bolster. I'll just show this. If I tuck the bolster in kind of where we had it before, I might be able to, you know, get more into it. You see, you know, I'm not going to use the bolster, but it's up to you. Okay, so I'll put the right forearm parallel to the front of the mat, fingers spread. Take your left hand just out to the side and just rock yourself a little bit here so you can bring the legs together to the midline. Then we'll bend the left leg, reach back, grab the foot, maybe on the big toe edge, whichever one. Okay, just the same thing. So we push the foot, we reach, maybe the thigh lifts, maybe the opposite leg, maybe the right arm. But, you know, it's all fine and lovely. Wherever you go, take one more breath and then let it go. Come back to just resting. You can have your head turned or your forehead down, whichever one. If you turned your head, just notice which way you have it turned. Feel your heartbeat, feel your breath. And take one more full breath in. Maybe you open your mouth side out. And then lifting your head and left forearm parallel to the mat. Right hand out to the side. And let's rock a little bit. Good. And then we'll bend that right leg, catch hold of the foot. And start to press back. You just find your way. Maybe the thigh lifts, maybe the left leg, maybe the left arm. You know, flex your toes, breathe. And release. And again, just drop. Turn your head the opposite way or rest your forehead. Good. Take one more full breath in. Sigh it out. Good. And press yourself up to your hands and knees. Find Vajrasana, so tops of the feet down. We're going to sit. I have my knees right together. We're going to come into child's pose, but I want to get into the back. So you might grab your bolster or your blanket, and you're just going to shove it in nice and tight. And then you lift yourself up and over. So the hands come down. What I'm looking for here is just to open right here into the low back through the breath. So the forearms might come to the floor. You might still be on your hands. This is cat pose, so let your head drop. Let's take a nice few breaths here. Good. Okay. And then we're going to come up to sitting. Okay, I'm going to take my bolster. I'm going to lay it down. You could do this with stacks of blankets. I'm just very quickly going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to lie down, and I want that top of the bolster to be just right at the tops of the thighs so that my belly will come down. And I'm just wiggling myself forward so I feel the thighs on the bolster. Then I can let my knees descend to the floor. They might not touch. And if this is not comfortable, just wiggle yourself around. The knees might be on the floor. Okay, I'm going to tuck the toes under and press through the heel. Now I'm going to go for a little hip walk, heel walk. So I'll hike one heel up and then send it away. Press the other heel forward, push it away. It's like you're doing a little hip walking. Okay. And as you do this hip walking, now you might change it just a little. So you pull one heel up, but you move the hips over to that side and then to the other side. So the hips are swaying at the same time as you're rocking the heels. Definitely a hula action. Just very, whatever you're doing, then let it go. Tops of the feet down, rest your head, maybe forehead on your hands, or you can turn your head. And we're just going to rest here. We're just going to allow the bolster to just draw the thighs back. This is, kind of a cow pose. Tailbone is lifting. Melt your belly. Your head's turning to one side. Just change it. Drop in. Okay, so you're welcome to stay like this. I'm going to bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet or the inside edges of the feet to touch. That's going to change things a little bit. So if that's okay, great. If it's no good, stretch your legs out again. And then start to deepen your breath that didn't just kick in naturally. As if you could just, really open the body with your breath. And even as you exhale, maybe even hug in a little bit in your torso. So you're using a little bit of muscular effort with your breath. And let's just take 2 more breaths. So you can keep that, or you can just let it go, just breathe. Okay, now you can keep your legs straight, knees bent, whatever you have. I'm going to come back into Sphinx. I'm going to bring the forearms down. Now, because I'm on the bolster, obviously, it's very different. I can get some nice cat-cow action here. So whatever you're doing, legs stretched out, you've got this little bit of a lift. So just pressing the forearms forward, dropping your chin, pulling the tail down. And then going the opposite way. Notice if your feet are engaging. Good. Okay, let's find neutral. What's neutral here? So that would be the belly drawing in, shoulders back, maybe the gaze is to the horizon. More breath. Good. Okay, now I'm just going to straighten my arms just for fun here. Take a breath here, and then we're going to come, you'll just walk your hands back, roll onto your knees. Good. Okay, I'm going to take the bolster now, and I'm just going to take it back into this like Shavasana 2. So just very quickly, I'm going to show it, even though I know you all know it. You can put a blanket here for your head. The bolster can be right against your low back or further away. You lie down. So your legs can be stretched out. If they're stretched out straight, open them wide. If you want to take Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out, we're going to rest here for a little bit. You can throw blocks underneath your knees. And I'm going to take a Virasana. So if this is interesting, if sitting, you know, you can always throw a blanket, lift it up. So when I come back, this is, you know, I lift my hips, pull the tail, and then I get like a little bit quad. If this works, if this is like, Joe, that's crazy, but maybe just not today. Then you take whichever one. So legs straight, wide open. You can throw a little support under your knees if you like, or soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Whichever one, you want to put a block underneath your bolster. I know you know how to prop yourself up. So take your time. If you want to put a blanket over top or your eye pillow, we're just resting here, not Shavasana, but settling into Shavasana. Good. So just taking a few moments to just feel into this like almost reverse of the Sphinx and everything else we've been doing here. Because here our chest is supported, the tailbone is descending, and we're opening up the front of the belly. Let your shoulders soften, jaw soften. Maybe tuck your chin in a little bit and rest. However you place your legs, we're sending our breath deep into the pelvic bowl. Imagining your breath as massaging all the inner organs, digestive organs, reproductive organs, all those integral parts of us. Some we can live without quite well. And whatever you have, don't have, breathe into your space. And, okay. However you have your arms, you want to take them up a little bit more just to open, you know, like we've been doing. Maybe they go right over your head. Maybe they just open more to the side and a little bit above the heart. So open your wings. Breathe into your heart space, your chest. So this way we invite in a more full torso breathing. Soften your eyes, your jaw. Be with your breath. Good. Okay, I'm just going to be here for a few more breaths. So be here now. And if you have your legs in any position, just change it. So that could be bending your knees or stretching them out, whatever you need to do, just changing the position of your legs. Notice how that changes your breath. Even if you just bend the knees, feet to the floor, you're going to notice a change. Okay, I'm going to stay on the bolster, and we're going to come into windshield wiper. So we'll bend the knees if your legs are straight. You can even plant the feet, lift your hips for a moment, and then put it back down. It's just going to change the angle. And then we'll just start to rock the knees side to side. And knowing that we're moving to Shavasana from here, it's just nice and slow, feeling. You can make it more dynamic if you like. Good. And then I'm going to change this just so slightly. So we'll bring the feet back. I'm going to keep them wide. I'm going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. We'll just pause here. If the bolster's a hindrance, take it out. And then we'll start to rock side to side. And it might not be as big as you did before, but it might be. Just go nice and slow. Put your hands where you need, maybe palms facing down to support you. Good. All right, let's do one more on each side. And then you'll just come back to your center. Place the feet back on the floor, wide apart. You might want to windshield wiper a little bit, just release. And then we'll come with the left ankle on top of the right knee. And just hang out for a breath or two, just feel. And then when you're ready, you'll move into this side to side action. So I have my right heel lifted, and I'm just pivoting on the toes. Not going that fast. I'm just feeling the good medicine here. Again, do one more on each side. Good. And then we'll come back to center, place your feet. Okay, so we're going to come into Shavasana. I'm going to stay on the bolster for a moment. I'll bring my arms down, just kind of walk my feet in a little bit, lift the hips up. You might even lift your head, tuck the chin, just keep lifting the hips. Press the feet down and away, and then bring it down. And just go slow, because the floor is a little further because we're on this bolster. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So, massaging the spine, rolling. There is cat and there's cow pose happening here. Good. And this time when you come down, you're welcome to stay on your bolster for Shavasana, or to change it if you want to just lie on your back for a few moments and hug your knees in and feel. Do that. Anything else you want to do, my friends, take the time here. And then you'll settle yourself in Shavasana. So I'm going to stay here on the bolster. I might add a little blanket for my head. And then I'm going to open my legs wide, let the feet just flop. Okay, so take your time, an eye pillow, nice, cover yourself. Just invite in. Here I'm going to do this automatically, so I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. I just take my hands, grab the back of my head, lift the chin right to the chest, and then I'll press the hands into the head as I slowly bring the head back down and slide the hands out. You get nice and long here. And then if your hair is free, it's sometimes nice just to kind of massage your scalp. Okay. And resting into your own stillness whenever you get here. Softening your hands. Notice any tension you're holding in your hands. Let it go. Just dropping in more deeply to your rest, to letting go, and to the flow of your breath. Feel your body so heavy. And choosing to stay here is lovely and fine. Take more time. And if you're ready to come out, just starting to make your little movements into the fingers, the toes, the ankles, the wrists. You'd like to stretch your arms over your head, lengthening as if you're just waking up. You can bend your knees and hang out here with the knees bent, or hug them into your chest for a moment. And then lovingly rolling yourself to your side. Just if you're still on the bolster, just remember you're on a height as you come off. And it's honoring this in between. And coming up to seated whenever you're ready. And then resting your hands however you like, even if you're still lying down, place them on your body or just mindfully. Feeling into your hands, your breath. And joining your palms together in front of your heart or on your heart. Bowing your chin with reverence and honoring. And sealing this practice, medicine taken, investment in the bank. And inhale, grow tall, lift your chin. Exhale as you are. And feel free to join with me in our May We Be Blessed mantra, where I just bless you. Inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy. May we be happy. And we'll seal that with one Om. Inhale. Take a full breath in. Breathe into your hands. Catch your breath. Lift your chin. Open your eyes. Maybe offer it to yourself and then take your hands out and offer it. Yes. Yeah. Thank you guys. So much love. Yay. Thank you for being here.